We'll call the meeting to order pursuant to Executive Order Number 2003, Coronavirus Public Meetings Required Limited Waiver. This meeting will be conducted by teleconference. We'll now inform the public about the location of the Open Meetings Act on the City of Norfolk website, which is norfolkne.gov/openmeetingsact.html. If you now please join me in rising for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, with that, roll call, please, Brianna.
Clausen. Granquist. Jackson. Lange. Merrill. Murin. File. Weebelhaus.
Okay, before we move forward, I want to note that the public is invited and encouraged to participate in these teleconference city council meetings, and at times where discussion is encouraged and welcomed, you can do that. You can participate. Anyone who wishes to speak on an item should please press *9 on your phone, and we will be notified and you'll be placed into queue to speak. With that, we'll move forward with item number 5 on the City Council agenda, and I will look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Councilman Merrill. Second, Councilman Lange.
A motion and a second. If there's no discussion, roll call, please.
Clausen. Granquist. Jackson.
Yes.
Lange.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Murin. File.
Aye.
Weebelhaus.
Aye.
All council members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
Okay, I would now look for a motion to approve the full agenda.
So moved, Your Honor, Councilman Lange. Second, Councilman Jackson.
Motion by Councilman Lange, seconded by Councilman Jackson. If no discussion, roll call, please.
Clausen. Granquist. Jackson. Lange. Merrill. Murin. File. Weebelhaus. All council members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
Okay, that takes us to our regular agenda. Item number 13. Would look for a motion to consider approval of letter agreement amendment number 2 to the engineering services contract with Olson Incorporated for the 2019 water pollution control CIP projects for rebidding the SBR electrical and controls improvements portion of the project for an amount of $2,800.
So moved, Councilman Merrill. Second.
Who was the second by?
Granquist, I thought.
Granquist. Okay. Motion and a second. Steve Ramus, our city engineer, could you please kick off the discussion on this?
Mayor, members of council, this is what's before you today is an amendment number 2 to a contract with Olson. This amendment would be for $2,800 for additional services to rebid a project related to our sequencing batch reactors out at the WPC facility. The SBRs are are our primary treatment mechanism out there. And what we're doing here is we're updating several of the electrical control components and underground conduit and wiring, our disconnects, receptacles, black boxes. Originally, we had a contract with Olson for this piece for $59,200. As we worked through the plans and specifications and design, we did amend that through amendment number 1 to add the design for updating or replacing our disconnects, receptacles, and black boxes out there. That amendment was for $3,500. Previously, we had bid the project and had received one bid for a little over $444,000. Through the bidding process, we were aware, and Olson's were aware, that there were other bidders that had received information and that had some initial conversation with Olson, but for whatever reason did not bid. And we were very confident that with some discussion with those bidders or plan holders that we would be able to get additional bids. And so we moved forward with that rebidding process. Olson did engage with multiple bidders, potential bidders, and there was a cost associated with that reach out and working with those bidders and preparing the rebid package. So I know they spent more than what they're asking for here, the $2,800 on amendment number 2. This is certainly a majority of the cost that they had there, but they did spend more than that. The net result of the additional effort by our consultant was a successful or a low bid of $352,473, which was a savings of $91,667 as compared to the original bid. So in terms of cost benefit, we certainly saw a benefit out of that rebidding process. If there's any questions, I'd certainly answer any questions by council.
Any questions, Council?
Councilman Lange here, the only question that I had, most of the specifications did not change from bid period 1 to bid period 2?
There was no change in the plans.
Okay, that's what I was getting at, because essentially we then were employing Olson to go out and get us some additional bids. So if that really changed in scope, then I would have questioned it a little bit more. So, okay?
Okay.
Any further questions? Hearing none, please vote. Roll call.
Clausen,
Through roll call.
Granquist, Jackson, Lange,
Aye.
Merrill,
Aye.
Murin, File,
Aye.
Weeblehouse.
Aye.
All council members present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
Okay, moving us to item number 14, I would entertain a motion to consider approval to award a contract to IES Commercial Incorporated of Norfolk, Nebraska for the Water Pollution Control Sequencing Batch Reactor Electrical and Control Improvements Project for an amount of $352,473.
This is Councilman Lange. I wish to note that I will be abstaining from discussion and/or voting on this item, as there is a potential I may have a conflict of interest.
Okay, thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Mel will make the motion. Second by Aaron.
Motion by Councilman Merrill. Who was the second by?
I heard heard Jackson, so I was gonna go with that.
Okay, Councilman Jackson. Steve Ramus, again, our city engineer, for background on this, please.
Mayor, members of council, what's before you today is a contract for electrical improvements of our sequencing batch reactor out at the WPC plant. Again, this is our primary treatment mechanism for our wastewater that is received. The existing control systems and electrical that run out to the SBR are primarily galvanized or metal. They are original and are starting to literally fall apart under the ground. We're starting to get a lot of infiltration of groundwater into those systems, so we're constantly doing repairs. This has been on our budgets for 2 or 3 budget cycles. We wanted to move this forward before we had a more significant issue out there. We did bid this once before here a couple weeks ago. Only received one bid for the work. That bid was $444,140. We brought that to council and recommended a rejection of that bid. The results of the rebid, we had 2 bidders, Commonwealth at $392,861 out of Columbus, and IES Community out of Holdridge. Their bid was $352,473. So we did see a substantial savings in that rebid process. Gets us much closer to our budget. Is a little bit over our budget, but we know that we do need to move this project forward. So answer any questions you would have related to the work or the bids.
Okay, thank you, Steve. And this is a project that was planned for and budgeted within our capital improvement program. Is that correct?
That is correct.
As a reminder, for any members of the public who want to participate and join in discussion, you can do so by pressing *9 on your phone to speak. Is there any discussion among the council? Any questions or comments, council, on this? Okay, hearing no one and seeing no one in the queue from the public, I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Clausen. Granquist. Jackson. Merrill. Murin. File. Weeblehouse. Voting in the affirmative, Clausen, Granquist, Jackson, Merrill, Murin, File, and Weeblehouse. Abstaining from the vote, Lange. Motion carries.
That concludes this meeting of the Norfolk City Council. We are adjourned.